I thank all those who made me to come once again back to Coimbatore, back to same Meridien, back to the same stage with the same story without changing anything. I belong to a village which is 25 kilometers away from here. The village name is Appanaikanpatti Pudur. I can tell it in Tamil Nadu, at least you can understand. In North, people suffer. And this is a story, and in this story, it has all emotions, some fun, some humor, and everything of a story is there. And let me start. The story is from a small village to the National Stock Exchange. This is the journey. They asked me to talk on disruptions. The minute you have a story, that means you have disrupted. And only when you disrupt, you can have a story. That's important. And let me start with this. Our guys went to Olympic. All the guys were perfectly normal. Got silver and bronze. The challenged got gold. Which means the blessed get ordinary. The challenged gets the best. And I was demonetized at birth. Do you understand what I mean? Poverty means demonetized at birth. So this is the village. Congratulations Coimbatorians, because you have an MBA in the Coimbatore city name itself. That's the only MBA I have got. Of course I have got a second MBA. You want to know? Mumbai. That also has an MBA. So from Coimbatore to Mumbai it was. Villages are true universities. Don't feel sad that you are born in a village. There only you can learn. I don't think Harvard and Stanford teachers. They only teach how Nokia failed. In villages, there is no theory, all practical. And I'm pretty sure all those who are born in a village are much more powerful than any of the MBAs of the world. 100% practicals. True experience is not the number of years you sat in a chair. It's not the number of years you sat in a chair. It is the number of problems you have solved in your life. And when you are born in a village, the only thing you do is problem solving. Want to compare village with business? Village means no resources and you have to be successful. Business means low resources and you have to be successful. So it is important, if you are in a village, you will have all the capabilities to run anything. I had 600 out of 100 meals. That means 2 meals in a day. Third meal was the difficulty. And lucky are those who are born to poor. Lucky are those who are born to poor. One day I was talking to my daughter. She was not doing something the way in which I would have done. I told her, "What is this?" She looked at me for a few seconds and told, "Dad, you had the luxury of poverty. I didn't have." The luxury of poverty is what we need to celebrate. By the way, I'm investing in CNBC for a program. It's going to be an 8-week program. The program name itself is Luxury of Poverty. I want all poor people to understand poverty is a luxury. Don't sit and cry. Son of a landless farmer. My parents were truly not for education because one more boy working in field will get the third meal. So there was a balancing whether third meal or education. Well, I want to congratulate people in Tamil Nadu because this was the state where all the chief ministers brought in the midday meal scheme very early. And I remember my school days, in one hand a slate, in another hand a plate. And lucky are those who are born to poor, and I want you people to understand why I am keep on telling about poverty. Success in life is delta. Delta is equal to x2 minus x1. x2 is where you are today, x1 is where you were that day. And if x1 was 0, Will you be ever scared of anything in life? For a poor, there is no downside. For rich, it is only downside is the problem. By the by, one day I was telling my son, who was not doing very well in 12th standard, on a lunch table with my wife and my daughter sitting, son, look, my grandfather was very rich, because of which my father became poor. Because my father was very poor, I became very rich. Now I am worried about you. He just looked at me for 10 seconds. Dad, I am very happy. I asked him why. My son will be very rich. Anybody who gets into MBA, whether they get a life or not, they know how to balance between work and life. A question to be asked. Look, this is how probably my mother had taken care of 4 children with no money in hand. She had to work in the field, and this is not the true picture of my mother, but I couldn't get anything closer to reality in the internet. So there was one teacher, 5 classes, no electricity in that village, anybody wearing chappal in this village is said to be a rich boy. And if somebody is wearing a full trouser, he is from a royal family. Of course, today half trouser is a rich family. And by any chance that is torn, it is very, very rich. I had no luxury of having an atlas or a dictionary. And the group photograph of my 11th standard was 1 rupee 75 paisa, and I didn't have money to buy. Lucky are those who are born to poor, because you have nothing in life to lose. 1978 to 1982, I was a graduate. I studied in the village. Then I went to Ramakrishna Mission Vidyalaya. I stayed in a Harijan hostel to complete my degree because there was no other choice. And those 3 years made me very powerful. I failed in 50 interviews. In Avinash Road, Tiruchi Road, in Metupalayam Road, all mills were there. Every mill I go, only watchman, because my friend, no one allows me inside. By any chance, once a watchman is allowed inside, the first question the man will ask, do you have an experience? I don't know which college gives experience. Every college gives a degree, right? So I felt at that time, if I start a company, I will not take one experienced man into my company. Today I have got 1,000 employees for whom I am the first employer. And by any chance, the man inside did not ask for experience, then he will ask, can you brief me about yourself? That means he is testing my English. English is a language. English is not knowledge. English is a language, and people only test the language. And Tamil mediathil padichen. Ayyo appa. Vitta podal odi vandutten. So, capsule manufacturing company, finally I got a job. These were my salaries, and they are not euros per hour. INR per month. And I thought once I get 1,000 rupees salary, I will get married. Fortunately, the company is closed down. Otherwise, by now, I would have been unmarried even today. So I thought I will leave the village, and I will leave the district. And there are, I am a Naidu in this city of Coimbatore. Naidus are supposed to be favored children, must be getting a job in good companies. But then, luckily, I didn't get anything right. Look at luckily. Luckily, I was poor. So, leaving parents and siblings is a ration card is all what you live with. I had to leave. Rajinikanth's punchlines, Kamal Hassan's dances, everything I had to forget. Mallige Poo, Marandagano, Masal Vadayu, Marandagano, Ella Timidita, Babe Pone, all alone in a Jayanti Janta Express, and I landed in VT railway station and stayed there for 3 nights because I didn't have anyone to receive there with a smartphone in hand. I didn't have a credit card, and to keep a credit card, I didn't have a purse. Lucky are those who are born to poor. Delta is x2 minus x1. x1 was VT railway station platform. There is nothing there to lose. I want all of you to know where from the courage comes. So this is a job, dream job. Anybody who finishes his MSc or a PhD would love to work in a research institute of BRC. By the way, I was a mathematics student. You know why I completed or why I wanted to complete a degree? In the entire Paladam Taluka, where my village belongs to, all married men had fair-looking wives. So I thought that should be an incentive enough to complete my degree, maths, physics, chemist. When I went to Bombay, I was asked a question, where is thyroid? I was surprised to hear a name thyroid. Then I thought it could be thyroid. Finally, I said, I don't know thyroid. In 1982, I don't know where thyroid is. In 1992, I'm a PhD in thyroid biochemistry. In 2002, I run world's largest thyroid testing laboratory. By the by, if you do what you have studied, you will only survive. If you do what you have not studied, you will become the leader. So I was a government officer, my wife was a bank officer, comfort zone, 37 years I was, my son was 7 years and my daughter was 5 years, and that is picture perfect for a man. Absolute happiness. That is where we collapse. Because comfort zones are supposed to be read as danger zones. So, I asked to myself a question. I will use a bit of Hindi in between. Forgive me, in Tamil Nadu I am not supposed to speak Hindi, but nowadays I make North Indians to listen to Tamil also. So let me tell you, I thought, have I come to Mumbai to live or to lead? Jeene aaya ya jeetne aaya? If you have only to live, why you had to come all the way to Bombay? So I decided that I must take a decision. Bada hona hai ya buddha hona hai? You want to become old or you want to become big? I think that's the time when I took a decision. And I was a restless kid, according to my mother. According to my daughter, I am a restless dad. But then that is always in me. And hair and hillock. I think this is a Tamil Nadu. I must use wonderful Tamil for that. Mayra katti malaya ilukkuradu. Mayra katti malaya ilukkuradu. Vanda mala, anda mayru. And if some of you, and what will I lose? Because I had nothing to sit and cry if I lose. That was the reason I took a decision when I was 37 years of age. In life, either you can discuss or decide, you can't do both. Many people start with discussion over, no decision. In fact, if you want to know whether your idea is right or not, you must tell your ideas to 10 people who love you the most. And if all of them say, please do it, don't do that. And if they say, don't do it, please do it. Because there are only two things in life. Options are there. One is what is easy to do, another is what is right to do. What is right to do is not easy to do. What is easy to do is not right to do. I don't know what you will do. So I decided to leave to Bombay, and I didn't discuss with my father. That was in 1982. 1986, I decided, and I didn't discuss with my mother about my marriage. I'm sure all of you must be thinking it must be a love marriage. Actually, my father-in-law loved me. He wanted to marry his daughter. And I went and saw the girl. There was nothing very impressive. So I thought, let me go home and sleep. And my father-in-law didn't allow me to sleep. 5 times he visited. And then I told him, give me 1 hour, I want to talk to her. So I took her to my colleague's office and made her to sit down. And in 1 hour, 55 minutes, I only talked. And 5 minutes, absolute silence. I decided to marry. By the way, you all were clapping without knowing why I didn't discuss with my mother. Yeah, I said all graduates in Palladam Taluka had fair-looking wife. I was an MSc. I was a PhD. So my mother's expectation was too high, and she is going to reject. So I took a studio, put all extreme lights, and took a photograph and sent it to my home. My mother said, wonderful, go ahead. But on the day of marriage, she only was sitting and crying, I was cheated. And in 1995, I took a decision to resign without discussing with my wife. It was a government job. I resigned, went home. In dinner table, I did not tell that I have resigned. Night 2 o'clock, my wife asked me, are you not sleeping? I said, I have resigned. Until that time, she was horizontal, then she became vertical. 20 seconds, absolute silence. Then she told me, if you are not going to office from tomorrow, even I am not going to go. Oh, thinking that I have a salary of my wife, I took a decision. And night 2 o'clock, there is a damki. In Hindi, word is damki. Nee polena naanum pomata. Until that time, I was horizontal. Then I became vertical. Then I said, come, let's Saath jiyenge, saath marenge is what in Hindi. Let's either we live or we die, let us do it together. Both of us took a decision to give up stable jobs. Mind you, entrepreneur is one who take risks. Please note, if you have identified a right risk and you are romancing with that risk, that means you are going to be very powerful. Please don't do it ulta. Identifying a right romance and risk with it, right? The next one is, everyone was doing thyroid testing at $10. I started doing thyroid testing at $2. I think Arvind Hospital has become very powerful because they found 100 and odd per dollar per lens is unfair. They worked on something, they are successful. I worked on something, I am very successful. That decision of doing thyroid testing at 100 rupees was another powerful decision. And today we do a cancer diagnostic test called as PET-CT at rupees 9,999 when entire world is doing at 25,000 rupees. Now, that's it. So decision making is very important. What I wanted to hear all of you to understand is decide. So all of you must be thinking that I have copied. Actually, my photograph was in February 2016 when I went to Salt Lake City for a road show for my IPO. I was showing my family that there is a snowfall, and exactly after 5 months, this man comes with this Porsche. Right. The slide here is not to tell that who copied whom. I have not copied what others are doing. That means focus. In a 15-gram gland, in this 100-kilogram body, I found 1,000 crores. There are only 3 kinds of people. One who can see what others can see. Number 2, one who cannot see what others can see. The number 3 can see what others cannot see. And probably I saw it very early, and that made me today very powerful. And this is what that slide, first one, before the Windows came, before this PowerPoint came, this was done in a overhead projector. So disruption, well, let us come to the topic of today's disruption. Did I disrupt? Yes. Price disruption. Everybody was doing at $10. I decided to do at $2. The reason is, if you buy 100 units per month, it is $10. $3 was the raw material cost. $3 was the processing cost. $4 was the profit. So people were selling at $10. I purchased raw material for $3 and sold my services for $2 only because I knew it very clearly. If you buy 100, it is $3. If you buy 1,000, it is $2.50. If you buy 10,000, it is $2. If you buy 100, today I buy 5 million tests a month. My cost is only $0.50. That makes this business the most powerful business because cost disruption. Please note, nothing in this earth is most powerful than the cost disruption, and I'm pretty sure what Airtel did, what Vodafone did, today, what Reliance Jio doing, all are disruptions, and I did a disruption that time. The next one is a franchisee concept. I want only $2. Customer is willing to pay $10. So I appointed a franchisee and told him, you collect $6, you keep $4, you give me $2. That man is not sleeping because out of the $6 collected, I have given him $4 and I am taking only $2. I am sleeping and he is sleepless. For the last 20 years, the man is running nooks and corners of the country because he is looking better returns from it. I used air cargo, Coimbatore, Cochin, Hyderabad, everywhere, all the city. The specimen comes to Mumbai every night, same night before midnight. So that's the logistic disruption. And I'm a tech company. In India, the username password came in 1995. God was waiting until I get into the business. So I got a username password to go with to straight away. I was a mathematics man. That helped me. Did I do a McDonald's? Yes. McDonald's doesn't do masala dosa or McDonald's doesn't do a Chinese fried rice. They do only burgers. I don't do pathology. I don't do microbiology. I do only biochemistry. So that's another disruption. People didn't know that is possible. I did a Walmart. What do? They make, in business you can make money either from the customer or from the vendor. You can't make money from both. I didn't take from the customer. I only took from the vendor. That is what Walmart does. Today I get 70% discount in the retail price for my raw material. Did I do a Ola? Yes. Before Ola came in, the taxis were standing for 20 hours, running for 4 hours. Once Ola had come in, they are running for 20 hours and standing for 4 hours. Even the thyroid testing machines, before I came in, it was only running for 2 hours in a day, standing 22 hours. Today I have got 100 machines on my floor, which runs 24 hours. My floor is thrice the size of this hall. That's how. Coimbatore eppadi spinning mill machine vechu ottnaangalo adhe mari I am putting analyzers in a row and running them in Mumbai. So that's what the disruptions are. Then that is the pyramid. C.K. Prahalad, and the pyramid is most powerful. And if Arvind looks at the bottom of the pyramid, I am not looking actually the bottom. I am looking at the middle of the pyramid because middle is still not supported well. So we have 40 hubs, air-connected cities, each of them serving for 30, that means 1,200 franchises, each franchisee for 10 laboratories, that is 36,000, no, 30 laboratories, 36,000 and 3,60,000 doctors. So do I have a competition? Kabali. There is no competition. How? All others are doing with pathology. I'm doing biochemistry. I'm not doing pathology. Their reports are subjective. It could be malignant, it could be benign, it could be adenocarcinoma, it could be follicular carcinoma. I report 17.3 nanogram, 15.5 microgram per deciliter. So I am numerical, they are subjective. They are looking into diseases, I am looking into disorders. They are looking after acute illness, I am looking after chronic illness. And they are into infection, I am into metabolism. They are into hospital and clinic, their patients are, my patients are at home and office. Their patients are once patients, my patients are once for all patients. And their patients are horizontal, my patients are vertical and walking. Absolutely, there is no competition. Please note, if you see a competition, you cannot see the opportunity. If you see the opportunity, there is no competition. Kamalakasam padathal varum, kal endru paarthal kadavul theriyadu, kadavul endru paarthal kal irukadu. I think that's what competition according to me. So that is the story. Every night, same night, before midnight and only in night. The reason is newspapers should be printing only in the night. They should collect the news in the day. I followed that. I didn't follow my neighbor who does it in a different way. So 1,000 cities, 1,200 franchises, 5,000 families, 1,000 staff, 98% are freshers, age is 24. I started in a 200 square feet rented garage in South Mumbai. Today I have got 400,000 square feet, 2 such buildings nearby. Other than this, 15 acres of land in Mumbai. I only went with the 500 rupees in my pocket. So let us get once again him for our energy. And take less to get more. If you want more, you will only get less. If you take less, you will get more. Do not copy the neighbor. O mat karo jo padosi karta hai, kyunki fir aap wohi hoga jo padosi hua hai. In Hindi it sounds very well, that's why I told in Hindi. Resist temptation. There are only 2 kinds of people, one who has been successful, other could not resist temptation. Plan to lose. Jo kona chahta hai, kabhi kota nahi hai. Jo kone se darta hai, wo kabhi pata nahi hai. If you plan to lose, you will never lose. If you are scared of loss, you will never make it. You will never get it. If you are not prepared to lose $1 million, you just cannot think of $1 billion. It's very important. Business is not a straight line. Business is a hockey stick. It will go down. If you don't allow it to go down, it will never come up. This is nature. Avoid easy things, I said. And be alone and be a lion. Singa. Singla varum. That is the purpose for which I have put it here. I went all alone. I did it. Of course, I took all my family members, my brothers, my sisters, all have come, all have joined in this business. Today, we are a very powerful business because I had courage. जिताओ. I think once again this has to be told only in Hindi. जो जीतता है वो शायद हार सकता है, जो जिताता है वो कभी हारता नहीं है. If you are the winner, you may lose one day. But if you are creating winners, you will never lose. And I have created 1,200 winners across the country. Oh, this photograph I like a lot. This man doesn't have one leg, but I don't think anybody can stop him doing anything. And that is entrepreneurship all about. You won't get everything in life. You will have something missing, and you need to pedal it up. Of course, what is my name? Look, my father was very intelligent. He has understood my full meaning of my name. And look at here. Every 6 years I have added a zero in this last 30 years. 5 zeros I have added. And I'm only 58. Warren Buffett is 88. Another 30 years I am seeing. Right? So that's how I look at. And I think zeros are very powerful. There are only two kinds of people. One who chases a zero. Other one remains a zero. Of course, Arvind Eye Hospital is also chasing a zero. That means this many patients now, in another 5 years, add one more zero. Please note, zeros are most powerful energizers. I think I will, for want of time, I have skipped 2 slides. Only 2 more slides are there. I want to thank my parents because of my parents, I am very powerful here. My parents did not pamper me, they only parented me. This is very important. Many children are being pampered and they lose their direction and they all suffer. And my parents never overfed me. Look at the boy. He is carrying 3 bags, each 1,000 kilocalories. Look at the boy who is sitting there and selling that flowers. This photograph I love a lot because almost I was sitting and reading like this in my school days. Many parents sit and coach. They don't allow to think. My parents never bothered about what I am doing. Many parents are worried about megabytes. They are not worried about megahertz. Megahertz is the speed of thinking. Megabytes is the memory. Unfortunately, parents don't want any problem to come to the child. No pains for my child. Let me tell you, life has 2 innings. If the first innings is all pains, second innings is all pleasures. If first innings is all pleasures, second innings is going to be all pains. Please don't get me wrong. This is what I relate me and with my parents, and I have done it, and I make sure this slide is correctly told. Parents bring in fear, they don't bring in confidence. Parents take all decisions, they don't allow children to take decisions. These are the things where the things are going wrong. Okay, that's the journey from the village. I took some 500 rupees those days and I went to Mumbai and resigned my BRC job, put 2 lakh rupees of my provident fund into the business. Until year 2009, 15 years, I didn't know what I am doing. I was only perfecting. And finally, I made a brand around a gland. And that time only I understood investors are coming to me and asking for my shares in my company. I thought my company may be worth 200 crore, but I told 400 crore. You know, there is no calculation, top line, bottom line, multiples, nothing. So the guy, when I told 400, he was having a cup of tea, he kept tea and went away. The guy came after 6 more months. Same guy came, that means I told the right value, right? This time I told 500 crore. He didn't wait until the coffee came, he went away. He came exactly after 6 more counts. I told 600 crore. He told, I know you will tell 600 crore, that is why we have brought stamp paper. So I diluted 25% of my stock at a valuation of 600 crore. Within another 15 months, somebody else came. I thought if I tell 800, he will purchase. If I tell 1,000, he will purchase. Let me tell 1,200. He said, no problem, sir. So at 1,200 crore, I diluted 10 more percentage. And then finally, we had to do an IPO to tell the first guy to give an exit. And we wanted to do an IPO at 1,800. When we finished the roadshow across the world, all anchors wanted as much share as possible at 2,400. Within 3 months' time, it had gone to 2,400. I was extremely happy. We went for an IPO at 2,400. And we got 75 times subscribed. First time in the history after 10 years. All bank chairman had come to know about what is this company, because in that company in a 3 days time, 30,000 crore had been deposited for stock. 8 lakh applications. 8 lakh application. By the by, Prime Minister Narendra Modi only got 6 lakh votes. I got 8 lakh applications, and all the applications with 25,000 rupees as the application money. And the IPO got 75 times subscribed, and anything gets oversubscribed gets listed at a higher side. And we got listed on May 2016 at 3,300 crore, and the entire country was standing and saluting. Thank you very much. God bless you. All the best. Good luck. Thank you. I don't know whether time is there or not.
Time is actually not there, but we'll take 3 quick questions.
Please make sure the question is shorter than my answer.
140 characters. Who wants to go? Okay, I'll start with you. Dr. Velumani, நீங்க வந்து எல்லா இதுலயும் வந்து உங்களோட பிசினஸ் சீக்ரெட்லாம் நீங்க சொல்றீங்க. இதுக்கு முன்னாடி பிரசன்டேஷனுக்கு பார்த்திருக்கேன். என்கிட்ட காம்படிஷனே இல்லை. So sometimes are you not overexposing your business secrets?
If you have secret, you will anyhow lose it. If you have a secret, your employees will chase it, your son will sell it. I want all of you to keep in your mind, what made me very successful are 3 words. Trust, truth, transparency, full stop. No secret.
Perfect. All right, who's got it?
Is there any more question? If at all there are no questions, I want to leave all of you with 4 words. 4 words. Please remember these 4 words as the takeaway. Focus. Learn. Grow. Enjoy. Please don't change the order.
So this is...
All right, so we got 1 question, we'll wrap up with that. Yes, sir.
So this is Gopinath from Hyderabad.
Yeah.
Are you a fan of Rajnikant or Rajnikant is your fan?
Oh, thank you very much. I don't think he knows me. I use him extensively. And one day he is going to call me to fire me. But then I will explain him why I am using him. He will give me a lunch and give me a pose for the photograph.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Velumani.
Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Velumani. Brilliant, thank you.